Good morning guys, hello and welcome to another vlog of the Hola Mexico Travel series. So just woke up after a good 8-9 hours sleep. Really love this place. The bed is really comfortable, the Wi-Fi is really quick, so I'm able to upload the vlogs and edit stuff very quickly. So it's a delight after the Oaxacan coast where the Wi-Fi was like terribly slow, but now it's like back to high-speed internet. Anyway, headed to breakfast for now, and then I'll come back and start packing for today's adventure. And once I'm back in the room, I'll reveal what's the plan, and then we start executing. So let's get started. Oh, it's nice. They have a mini coffee machine with Americano, espresso, and some hot water in some small cups and tea bags here. This should be paid things, but where is their breakfast? Still haven't found breakfast. Maybe it's at the terrace, so let's check out the 4th floor. Alright, time for the big review. So just finished having a nice breakfast and now I have to pack for a 2-day, 1-night hike up to the Iztaccíhuatl volcano, and I have to get to the trailhead as well. So it's about 10 a.m. and soon I'll go down and look for an OXXO or a similar grocery store, grab some trail snacks, and then off we go to TAPO to get to the trailhead. So let's get packing for the extensive hike. It's gonna be a difficult one, but I have had it on my bucket list for a while, so I'm really excited to be able to execute it. So this is everything I'm bringing for the hike. A jacket, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, headlamp, water bottle, hydration pack, multi-tool, neck sleeve, knee sleeve, battery bank, a sleeping pillow, a cap, a tripod, base layers, cap, shimag, sweater, extra extension packs, and a Ziploc pack. So let's pack everything up and then add some trail snacks to it and hit the road. Done grabbing snacks from the OXXO. They don't have much of protein bars here, I found, so I got some trail nuts, some sort of muffin kind of rolls, cinnamon rolls, and some biscuits and M&Ms and Kit Kat. That should last me until tomorrow, and then hopefully we'll be back in civilization to grab something else thereafter. So now let's head to TAPO and find a bus. Finally back to TAPO. Now I know for a fact that the Autobuses don't go there, but I don't know which. Oh, there's a thing called volcanoes right there. So maybe they offer services. Let's go and ask. Okay, so that was the SUR Sur bus that I took to get to Amecameca Centro. Got off here. That completes the phase 1 of the journey. Hereafter, to get to the trailhead, I have to figure out a taxi or a colectivo, but for that I have to get out of this bus station. So it was like 40 pesos and it took about 1.5 hours. We started at 11:40, now it's 1:20, so not so bad, pretty economical. Now for the next phase of the journey, let's see how that works. Spoke to a couple of taxi drivers Paso De Cortes is where the ranger station is, where you get the entry ticket. So for there they'd say 300, and La Joya is where the base station is, which is after the Paso De Cortes. There's some saying 500, some saying 700. So seems a bit spiked up. So I have to figure out what is the right way to get there. Yeah, most of the cabbies are fixed at 300 pesos for Paso De Cortes and 500 to La Joya, and they won't budge. But so this guy was saying like either it's one person or four people, the price is fixed. Let's see, there's a colectivo to get there. Okay, so far I haven't found a colectivo to get there, so still wondering whether to pay 500 to get all the way to La Joya or to just stop at Paso De Cortes. Maybe I'll just give in and go all the way to La Joya. So this is Paso De Cortes, so we're stopping here to go inside the ranger station, make the payments for the entry to the national park. But look at the nice view. So it's 58 pesos for one day. I took a 2-day trip, so it was 116. And they say you can sleep at La Joya, which is the base camp, tonight, and then early morning or get an alpine start for the refugee camp, and then all the way to the summit. Okay, so hello from La Joya. This seems to be the base camp, which is interesting. So the cab driver said when you want to pick up, you just give me a call from the ranger station. It takes about 40 minutes to come pick up. And eventually I gave in for the 500 peso price. So that's 300 to the ranger station, 500 to get here. So 200 pesos extra to come here. And it's sunny, but the wind is nice and cool. And look, I have a furry friend saying hello. There is nobody here resting at the moment. There is only one car in the parking lot, so getting back would be an interesting challenge because I'm far from town. So it's time check, 2:40, exactly 3 hours from Mexico City to get here. 2-hour bus ride, 1-hour cab ride, and now you're here. And my cost check, so I paid 40 pesos for the bus, 116 for the park, 2-day entry, and 500 for the cab. So yeah, now we are here. Let's begin the adventures. And the guard said to get to Refugio de los Cien, which is another refuge, kind of like just before the path gets really tricky. It takes about 3 to 4 hours, and it's about 2:30 p.m. So I'll have to make a call whether to go up there or to sleep in here, given that there is literally nobody here, and you could either start alpine hiking from here or from there. So I'll rest a little bit, acclimatize, and then take a call. Also, the cool thing is like the wind is nice and cool, so the nights are going to be really chilly, and this is fully exposed, so I need to put on some layers and then make a call. Probably I'm going to hike all the way up there. There's another hut there. I'm just curious. I want to check out what that is and if that's more habitable, or is that also like fully open. If that's also open, then time to hike up. Let's make a quick call. So this is the trail map. La Joya is where I'm starting from, the base camp. Refugios is like kind of like halfway, semi-halfway mark. Pecho is the summit. It's like 5.43 kilometers. It's twice as high as Mount Fuji. I don't remember how high was the PR one that I did in Portugal, but seems quite high and the air is quite thin. Have to take it nice and slow, take breathers and drink lots of water. Let's check out that hut. What's the scene there? There seems to be wooden planks and bedding inside, but it's locked. So I guess refugee camp it is. Time to take it nice and slow. 3 p.m. by 6 p.m. we should make it. Let's aim for that, and I'll start tracking the hike from here as well. What's up, buddy? Are you gonna come all the way with me to the summit, or just gonna stay here? Maybe I'll see you on the way down, okay? Enjoy the sunshine. Bye bye. Okay, so I guess this was it for the nice and easy climb. Now, very steep uphill. Time to warm up. I'll also put on the knee sleeves here and maybe grab a M&M or something. Time check has been nearly 1 hour, done 1.5 kilometers of hiking so far. Definitely winded, but I'm taking enough breaks to catch on the breath. And as you can see, there's like a bit of a rocky terrain already, but it's not like crazy hard scrambling that comes in ahead, but still we are gaining altitude. Let's see, we'll continue hiking in a few minutes again. Perhaps we'll stop at one of the passes. I think there should be 3 or 4 before I hit the refuge. I just met these 3 Spanish folks, and with some Spanglish and some direct sign language, I managed to understand that if I keep up good pace, I'll be at the refuge in 1 hour. Otherwise stops 2 hours. It's 4 p.m. so keeping good time, and they say like trail is more or less like this, just winding all around. So let's keep going and get to the refuge while the sun is still up. Made it to some sort of a homage mark. I'm gonna rest here for a few minutes. Been climbing up the rocks. All of these guys down there is just rock climbing, and from here it's all the way up there. So I'm gonna catch my breath for like 5-10 minutes and then continue. So far views are amazing, but every time there are clouds, the sun is like gone behind the clouds and it's like very chilly winds. So the night is gonna be really cold, so it's good I'm more prepared for winter. A few more layers left on me and the snow cap and stuff, so that should be good. Can't wait to get the view from up top. And in terms of time check, to get to this mark, it took me 1 hour 24 minutes, and this is at like 1.7 kilometers from the hut I showed you at La Joya. That's where I started tracking. So the entire net distance every time I'll tell you is with respect to that starting point. So I saw a lot of these people wrote like blogs and stuff about this hike, but it's like all vague information. And that in the distance, I believe, appears to be Popo, the active volcano. And this side is Iztaccíhuatl, which I'm trying to hike. So really nice view of Popo. I wonder if it's gonna erupt while I'm hiking. It's been 1.9 kilometers, 1 hour 50 minutes. Just stopped because all this rock climbing is a bit tiring, but I was looking at the views of Popo from here. It's so clear, no clouds, no nothing. It's just perfect, super amazing. Taking a breather for a minute or so, then we'll continue. It's what, 4:43 p.m. so I have to keep up the pace to get to the checkpoint for today. Time check came up at another signpost, so I'm considering this as the second pass. 2.06 kilometers and 2 hours 10 minutes later, and now I have to climb that hill. So it's like a sleeping woman, so you start from the feet and climb all the way up. So I don't know which part of the body I'm at right now, but it's 2.06 kilometers down. Few more to go before I hit the refuge for the day. Seem to have gotten a little bit lost because there's a cliff right here and I don't know where the trail is. So there are a lot of false summits on this hike, so maybe I should go this way and the hike continues that way, because that might be the one of the peaks where I have to go to. Have to check it out. But yeah, got to stay calm and keep the energy up. It's 5:23. Okay, found another sign. Hopefully back on the trail, and this is the third sign. So then I'm back on the actual route and not a false summit. Alright, so change of plan. Decided to abort mission because of the false summit. I lost too much of the daylight, and it's about 6:30 p.m. It's gonna get dark and really chilly really soon. So I'm deciding to just head down back to La Joya, where I found that open shelter. Just gonna set up there and pass the night. At least I got to saw Popo, and maybe I'll see a nice sunset as well. But don't want to risk my safety and be out here in the darkness, because this isn't a very straightforward trail that you just walk around with a headlamp, although people do it through the night. But I got tired of the false summit and jumping around these rocks and stuff, so let's keep heading back while the sun is still up. Hopefully we'll make it to the shelter in time. Well, at least I got to try a lot of rock climbing and did like 3.5k mini hike, so not bad. Perhaps I failed the mission, but I figured out the trail. But it's just that I don't want to hike through the night, so better to camp low rather than camp in the middle of these rocks. So it's a new terrain, I don't know this area, this is not my area, so better to be safe. And it was a humbling experience, but there is no shame in calling it quits when you know that it's not going to work out. And I was also jumping around quite a bit when I ended up at the cliff, so I knew it was a false summit and I had to come all the way back down. But anyways, the views were nice from there, so I decided to jump around a bit, and then yeah, that tired me out. So I got in the cardio that I wanted, so there's no harm in that. But yeah, look at how all the mist coming in now, and the wind is also getting very strong. So anyways, let's keep going down. There's the cross, the homage point where I was, so just have to climb down these rocks and then all the way down from there. Whoa, look at that. Misty mountains, sun almost about to set, and I've done like 3.5k, 4 hours 10 minutes. Pretty cool. The plan did not go as planned, but this wasn't part of the plan, but I got it anyway, so I'm happy. Things don't always go as you plan them, but at least when you're flexible and you improvise, you get surprises like these. I have a feeling if I had like 1 more hour of daylight left, I would have easily made it to the refuge. I was pretty close. I saw the trail map. The refuge is supposed to be at 2.87 kilometer mark, and I was already at 2.4. But yeah, I traded this view and my safety for the refuge and the trek ahead. Maybe it wasn't meant to be to hike all the way to the summit this time, but who's going to complain about this view? So that's still acceptable for me.
The next day.
So good morning from the town of Amecameca. A lot happened since last night, so let me catch you up. So around 7:30 or so, I made it back to La Joya yesterday. But since it was like open area, didn't feel very safe and secure to be there alone, and there was nobody else. So I decided to go up another hill. There was another refuge and there were lights turned on there. So I thought, okay, maybe that would be a sheltered refuge, so let's go there. So I hiked for about an hour or so, and by the time I got there, turns out it was right next to a private company and a television broadcast station. So the lights were from the private company. So there was this bell of the private company. I rang it and some guys came out, and I asked them like, how do you enter the refuge? I don't see a entry gate, and everything was padlocked. So it turns out, unlike Finland, here even if you have a refugee shelter, unless you have prior reservations and they know you are coming, everything will be shut down. So there was like nobody there, and then I asked them like, okay, now I need a place to stay for the night, where do I go? So then they called the ranger station, and then they said, okay, we'll come pick you up in 20 minutes and then we'll figure something out for you. Then nothing happened, and then they called the company folks again, and we started talking, and it turned out that they wanted me to walk down all the way to Paso De Cortes, which is the ranger station where I got my entry ticket from. So okay, and that was like 1.5 hour hike, about 9 kilometers that I wanted to leave for today, but had no choice. So okay, I started walking down, and then they said like, when you come back to the ranger station, just knock the door, we'll open it for you, you can sleep inside for the night. I was like, okay, fine, fair enough. But anyway, when I went there, I kept knocking, nobody opened. And there was this Mexican couple in a car. I saw some activity, they were moving around, they had the headlamps on and stuff. So I asked them if they could help me. And yeah, they were very kind, they went above and beyond. So Luis and Miriam, if you're watching this vlog, I really appreciate whatever you did for me through the night. So they helped knock the door. There was a police van, so they asked them for help. Eventually, when nothing worked out, they made some arrangements within the car, gave me the front seat so I could take a nap in the car. So thankfully I got a nice warm nap as well. Otherwise I would have to sleep on the floor, which I don't think would have worked out anyway. The police would have kicked me out. So that happened, and then early in the morning they also let me hitch a ride, and halfway through we found this bus that brings you to the Amecameca center. So that's how I ended up here. This hike was way more adventurous than I would have ever imagined, but all in all, a pretty good adventure. So now I'm in Amecameca. It's just 7:30 a.m. so everything seems to be closed, but despite everywhere else in Mexico being a heat wave, this town seems pretty cold. Like everybody's wearing jackets and caps and layers and stuff. So I guess it's on a slightly higher altitude. But in terms of the hike tally, so I did 8 hours of non-stop hiking yesterday until midnight, and then I covered 15 kilometers so far, including all the detours I took at the fall summit, plus the refugee camp, plus coming back to Paso De Cortes. Still feeling it in the legs. It was definitely quite a hike, but never got to use my sleeping gear. Well, anyway, it was a fun experience. So just gonna head to the bus station from here and then head on back to Mexico City the same way I got here. But this was a different kind of vlog. As you go with the flow and adapt and improvise as things present themselves. But anyways, gonna end this episode here. Gonna go back home, take a nice shower, take a rest. Tomorrow is gonna be a rest day. But in the next vlog I have yet another thing in my bucket list, which is gonna be the grand finale of the Hola Mexico Travel series. Let's see how that pans out. But anyways, at least I got to see Popo up close, and at night also there was the lava spewing, but with the phone and with the GoPro you just can't capture it. But I had a very good line of sight with Popo in the lava. It was my first ever experience seeing a volcano, and the sunset hike was like really beautiful. I really enjoyed it. So gonna end this vlog here and see you again in the next vlog. This is the Rustic Wanderer signing off.